What is up, everybody? I am NerdRage36 with another pickups video. So, let's get right into it. First up, got a strategy guide for Resistance 1. I tried to find one for Resistance 2 since that was one of the games I got last time, but every place I went to that had one, sticker damage, essentially. Because, yeah, some idiot somewhere, probably at a GameStop, decided, yeah, let's put sticky paper on paper. But one good thing about this one I got, it still comes with the poster. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, poster. It unfolds. Probably going to keep it in there for a while because I don't really have a ton of space for it. But yeah. Another strategy guide. Halo Reach, and unfortunately this one does not have a poster. I don't think any of the Halo strategy guides have a poster. Although, some of you are probably wondering, why do I need strategy guides for 7th generation first-person shooters? Well, for one, I mean, I just like strategy guides. I like having maps for levels just to see where everything is if necessary. And actually that is necessary for Resistance here because even though this came from the era of the brown shooter, as some people will call it, it is sort of designed similar to a classic shooter. Like if you look at that, there's an example of a map on there. And yeah, because there's actually health pickups and all sorts of things that you need to know where they are. And while Halo also was from the brown era, although it was a bit more colorful than even this game, and it doesn't have health pickups, like it's still regenerating health. I think if I remember correctly, the levels in Halo games are still explorative, so yeah, it's just something that I thought I needed. Next up, another book, but not a strategy guide. Oh, man, this shit's heavy. Legend of Zelda Art and Artifacts. Yes. This is the third of the Zelda books. I was going to say encyclopedias, but I think the second one was actually called Zelda Encyclopedia. You got the green one, which is Hyrule Historia. I have that one. The blue one, which of course I just said is the Encyclopedia. I have that one. And I finally have the red one, Art and Artifacts. It's just an art book, but a really damn cool one. Like, just literally, like, stuff from every Zelda game up to a certain point. Like, the Oracle games, like, right here. Like, these were pretty cool. This was actually... I bought Oracle of Seasons after finding a used Game Boy Color at a flea market a few years ago, and I actually beat it on that Game Boy Color. Like, I actually played on an unlit screen, which was kind of crazy, and admittedly, that Game Boy broke not too long ago, so I don't even know. But it worked once. It worked once, and I was able to enjoy it, so yeah. On to the actual games, and not really a ton of stuff this time around, but objection! Phoenix Wright, or rather Miles Edgeworth, this time around. I have never super been into visual novels, mainly because back in high school I had a friend who played visual novels, and his go-to example for whatever reason was this anime dating simulator that featured hyper-realistic pigeons. Pigeons! No, I'm not Google searching that just to insert it for an edit. I had to go through enough of that back in high school, but like, visual novels never really struck me until I played 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now, that's not entirely a visual novel. It's part visual novel, part tactics game, but I liked it a lot, and I did sort of get into the visual novel portions of it. So I decided, you know what? I want to give the genre a fair shake, and I've heard the Phoenix Wright games are some of the best examples. And I've actually got the original Phoenix Wright over there with my DS games, and to be honest, a lot I think one of the reasons I picked this one up immediately after is because I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes the subtitles of these games confuse me as to which one comes next. I do know this comes after all the actual games labeled Phoenix Wright because it's Miles Edgeworth, but it's another game in the series, and I want to give a fair shake. Up next, The Riddler's Worst Nightmare. Does anyone remember that meme? Like, it's the Riddler against Batman. It's like, you'll never figure out... Oh, that's the Joker voice, but you'll never figure out this puzzle. Batman gets on his phone, and then Professor Layton shows up. He's like, did someone say puzzles? And the Riddler's on the floor panicking. But yeah, it's another... Not necessarily a visual novel game, but definitely a lot more based around talking to people, but with actual puzzles. And I don't know if, again, I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I like puzzle games, but the more traditional puzzle games like a Tetris, I can only really play for a few minutes at a time just to sort of, like, I don't know, not necessarily distract myself, but more like kind of reset my brain or something. And as fun as that is, it's not really engaging, but stuff like this, and over in my NES collection, the Lolo series, or in the Wii collection, Zack and Wiki, puzzle games with an actual adventure aspect to it, that I am definitely into. But yeah, this is Professor Layton, The Last Spectre. It is the last game for the DS Professor Layton games, which means that the next games I'm looking for are the 3DS ones, which I know can be extremely stupid expensive. But who knows? Maybe I might find a good deal, or I could just do some trade-ins. Speaking of stupid expensive, last but not least, Gargoyle's Quest 2. Now, I say stupid expensive, but this game has actually gone down in price recently. It's not like $10 or $20, but it's in the double-digit range now, which that is absolutely a good thing. I wonder if this game came out on NSO recently, and that's probably right. But regardless, this is part of the Ghosts and Goblins series, and actually, with this purchase, I am now officially 2 games away from a complete Ghosts and Goblins collection. And what's kind of cool about that is I sort of collected the Ghosts and Goblins games out of order, as weird as that may sound. Like, I started with Gargoyle's Quest 1 on the Game Boy, and then Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins on the PSP, and then Maximo on the PS2. I didn't get the NES, the Super Nintendo, or the Genesis game, and those are the ones that most people know until later. I still don't have the Genesis game. Like I said, I'm 2 games away, and that's one of them. But yeah, Gargoyle's Quest 2. Definitely one I needed, and I'm glad I got it at a decently low price. And that is it for this pickups video. Not a ton of stuff, but some really cool stuff. And one thing I forgot, I can't believe I forgot to do this in either of my last videos, considering who it was that inspired me to make pickups videos and to sort of just be more chill about YouTube creation in general. But I figure I should do it now at least once. I gotta close out like this at least once. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on.